Hello there, Karen. How are you? Thank you for joining us on today. We're just waiting for people to come in. We're looking forward to our discussion on today in this hour that we have. Thank you for joining us, Karen. All righty. Just come on in. Come on in. Hello there, Ernestine. Thank you for joining us. Just come on in. Go ahead. Thank you for joining us on today. I appreciate you. Let me see here. Could you hear me before, Karen? Hello there, MMXW. Can you hear me now? Just write yes, if you can hear me. Sound off again. Okay. We can't hear you. Okay. Hello there, LED. How are you? Okay, Karen, how are you, everyone? Thank you for joining me on this evening. We are going to talk about some awesome stuff on tonight. Trigger warning for this subject matter because it's the triggered narcissist. What happened when you trigger the narcissist? If you ever been with the narcissist and the narcissist was triggered and you knew they was triggered, what was it like? Karen, MMX, Ernestine, write what it was like when you triggered the narcissist. Yeah, write what it was like when you had a triggered narcissist, because sometimes it can be a very dangerous situation when you trigger the narcissist. It can be very dangerous. Karen, you remember the times when the narcissist was triggered and the environment, what it was like, and sometimes the environment can seem intense. Trigger warning, it can seem very scary, life-threatening. It can get cold, climby, eerie. You almost feel deep fear and afraid. She said he went into a screaming rage for hours. Absolutely. And what you'll notice, you feel like you looking at them and their eyes turn and you feel like something is looking through their eyes. It ain't even someone. You feel like something is looking through their eyes. You feel that there is another presence that's there that you didn't recognize before. And this presence didn't seem human when you trigger them. And Karen said he went into a rage for hours. Can you imagine an atmosphere like that? To be enraged for hours? And you are in a close, confined area. Ernestine said, I seen it with my parents when I was a little girl. She said, and I didn't know what it was at the time. And my dad got kind of violent with my mom. And then the police came and stuff. Oh, yeah. Yeah. It can get quite intense, especially for kids, especially for children. Because children feel vulnerable. They don't know what to do. They feel helpless. They don't know what to do. You feel like you can't help your mom. You can't save your mom or help a sibling that is being violently attacked. You feel helpless and useless. You almost feel like you're going out of your mind. A little child balls up in the corner or start to pull their hair out or even scream or run under the bed because they're shaking in fear and they feel that their life is at stake. When something happened to the parent, the child feel like I'm next. And sometimes it's possible that you may be. So the child try to get out of Dodge. And sometimes there's so much damage to the mom until the dad runs because he think he has really unalived the mom. And it's just a violent beating, violent cursing. And like Karen said, he was screaming and hollering for hours. She said, would get so mad that he would smash his own cell phone and smash it. Wow. Eyes were black and his face was distorted. He said, didn't look human. His features was changed. Police were called to everywhere we lived on Oahu. Wow. My mother would curse and scream for hours at a time. See, that's the same experience Karen had, especially when you're dealing with a psychopath, sociopath, what do you call it? The malignant narcissist can be very, very, very dangerous. And when you have a thinker, and some somatics can be like that. Covert, they can get angry, but they usually get somebody else to do their dirty work. But when you get in the line of a triggered narcissist, you have to be very wise, very careful how you handle them. And if you feel like your life is at stake, Karen, put the domestic violence up. Don't say anything. It may be wiser that you don't provoke them even further. She says, just be quiet. Let them calm down. And if you see they're not coming down, you got to call 911. Call somebody because they can get very violent. And if you know they don't have a tendency to physically assault you, but to verbally abuse you, that can escalate very quickly because some narcissists have blackout zones. They have so much rage until they actually black out in their mind. They're no longer aware of their surroundings. They're no longer aware of what they're doing. They just have this blackout moment. Because to be free, Karen said, live with a multimillionaire in a nice neighborhood. 6 or more police came in and assault military looking came in with assault military looking semi-automatic weapons. Wow. Can you imagine a child seeing that? And what happens in the mind of the child? MXW said, I remember being 19 and just tired of the years of abuse. I was telling my father that it was his fault and I was moving out and he started choking me. Whoa. What did you do? What did you do when he started choking you? And how did you get out? How did you get released? See, this is what I'm talking about. When you are cognizant, because sometimes the supply start to retaliate verbally. When you got someone that is at a 10, you don't need to retaliate. It ain't about you being right. It ain't about you doing anything. It's about you being safe. You have to be safe rather than sorry. If they're at a 10, you don't go to a 10. You make sure you stay thinking. You make sure you stay sober-minded. You make sure you stay strategizing. She said, he let go and I took all of my things and never went back. Wow. Isn't that something? Wow, wow, wow. I'm glad you got out. Do you think it would have been a different story if you hadn't have got out? MMXW? Do you think you would have had a different testament if you had stayed there? And when he was rage, did you see the distortion in his feature? And how did the atmosphere change? Did you feel absolute fear, almost dread? National Domestic Violence Hotline is 1-800-799-7233. 1-800-799-SAFE. SAFE. As for domestic violence advocate, they have more local resources and help with court restraining orders. Wow. You say it can get that intense? Yes. It can get very intense. It can get to a life-threatening zone. If you ever feel that your life is threatening, get out. And if you cannot get out, secure a place of safety. Lock a door, lock a room, which may make them even angrier because they want you and you're hiding away from them. But you got to get in safety for you and those children. She said, at the time, I wasn't scared of nothing and grew up in total abuse. I was numb. Yeah. He was a somatic narcissist, rarely violent. Wow. So what did you say to trigger him? Do you think there was other things behind the trigger, or do you think it was just your words that trigger him? Because when you have a narcissist, you have to be very wise in what you say to them, because they can change at the drop of a pen. They can change. 1 minute they're all right, the next minute you're trying to figure out what happened. And if something went wrong, they come home and take it out at the people at the house. She said, I said it was his fault that I was moving out so young. Whoa. And that triggered him. Probably, first of all, that seemed like rejection. The fact that you were strong enough to move out. And he felt like he was losing grounds. That would make him angry. And then you're standing up. And then you are telling him it's his fault. You had a lot of variables in there. Thank God you got out. And have you been out ever since, MMXW? She said, I didn't go back. Wow. Since 19. Yes. Wow. That's really good. Karen says, domestic violence is more than just physical abuse. It includes verbal abuse, name calling, blocking the door as you can't escape. Coercive control can be the punching, or can be punching a wall, breaking things, humiliation. You know what? That is good, because when I was growing up, domestic violence was only had one definition: physical violence. He can call you anything he wanted to call you. He can hit the wall, break the wall, stop the door. They did not consider that domestic violence. Domestic violence was when you was being physically abused. They are more sophisticated now. Karen said it is verbal abuse. If he blocks the door, that's violence. If they're coercive control, like punching the walls or breaking things, humiliating you, that's considered violence. So you should call domestic violence hotline. She said, that's what most of my family does to each other. All forms of abuse, but rarely physical. Wow. Boy, what a mindset. How you have to protect your mind growing up in something like that. Wow. She said, Ernestine, extreme mental and emotional abuse. And you know what? All of it is bad. Physical abuse, emotional abuse, blocking, coercing, controlling, it's all. But I'm going to tell you something. That mental abuse, because when the physicalities heal, that mental abuse stay with you. You go to sleep with it, you get up with it. It's always there. You're walking around in the day, you're in the car, and you can hear it, you can hear it, you can hear it. And it's constantly replaying in your mind over and over and over and over and over and over again. Now, if you think that's replaying in your mind, what do you think is happening in the kids' mind? They're replaying it too. They're having replays over and over. They're sitting in school thumping the pencil. They're nervous, can't hardly eat, upset stomach, wetting the bed, urinating on themselves, defecating on themselves, because they're losing control, because they don't know what to do with what is being done. Karen says, many states and several countries in the UK will give restraining orders for coercive control. Coercion includes telling you how to dress, who you can see, timing how long it takes to return to work. Wow. Wow. I know under the new administration, if you hit a woman, it's considered felony and you're going to jail. What it was then, but under the Trump regime, you hit a woman, you're going to jail. It's automatic. It's automatic. It's not, we got to see them hit you. No, one hit, and it's considered felony. So men who have no control of their emotions and they just go wild and start hitting on someone, it is a felony. And they're passing a law in the United States. One slap, you go to jail. You don't get another chance. Just put them out, go cool off, and come back. Just one slap. That one slap is going to cost you some jail time. Wow. This is really some when you talk about how the narcissists get triggered. And sometimes it's so easy because you didn't know you triggered them. You didn't know they didn't like that. You are learning them. And sometimes you're already walking on eggshells. You already just holding back. And then Karen said they can give you restraining orders because some of you may need to go to a place of safety because you already feel like it's coming to an edge where something has to happen. When that has to happen, then you need to get you a restraining order and go ahead and pursue a place of safety for you and the children. Don't wait till he get angry, or don't wait for another opportunity. Don't wait for something to happen. Always secure your safety. She said, Google coercive control because there's many other things that's considered coercion besides what I've named tonight. Wow, that is really good. The best thing to do, supply, forget hot and heavy. Preserve yourself. Don't argue back with them. Because some of them, whether you say something or not, if you don't say something, they feel like you're trying to be smart. So Sometimes you just got to get out. You got to get your children out for your safety. When you feel threatened, when you feel possibly that they want to unalive you and the children, get out. Hold your peace. Pacify the situation as much as you can. Bring down the heat of the environment. And when he locked down and he's together, if he leave, that's your chance. If he go to sleep, that's your chance. The only thing is, when he go to sleep, you can't be getting stuff together and he wake up. You got to have it already together. Already. And then you out. You and the children. You got to protect the kids. You have to preserve the kids. And you have to protect you. Your body, your mind is necessary. Because you may be the foundation of the family. It's necessary. A trigger narcissist is a dangerous narcissist. Wow. Wow, Karen, that's really intense, but that is really good. Some people can take advantage of that. I can see that. And some people don't want to take advantage. They want to take an opportunity to escape. To be YouTube, coercion is worse than that, my dear. Ooh, wee. Man. Somebody needs to just take time and look up coercion. Let's look that up and see what we got here. Man, because some of y'all, coercion, you need to know what that is so you don't have to put up with it. Because if your life is at stake, your safety is necessary. When your life is at stake, your safety is necessary. It's necessary that you be safe. It's necessary that you make sure the children are safe. Call the police. Let them hear what's going on. She said, Google if you're in a one-party or two-party state for secretly recording. One-party state, you can secretly record audio or video, and it's admissible in court. Two-party state, you cannot record. One-party state, you can record. Two-party state, you cannot record. Wow. Coercion. Coercion. Wow. Listen to this. An actual or threatened force for the purpose of compelling action of another person, an act of coercing. It is moral force to compel a person to do something or abstain from something by force, depriving someone of something, and it said even depriving them of their free will. That is something. It's conversion of a value of one's life is the process which a meaningful. Okay, we don't want that one. Man, coercion got some serious stuff to it. So if you was coerced, what would we be talking about? We'll be talking about pressure, compulsion, restraint, duress, intimidation, oppression, bullying, harassing, pressurizing, menacing, browbeating, physical beating, emotional beating, cursing, threatening, insistent, strong arming someone, filling the atmosphere with so much rage until it's choking to the other person. You don't have to go through that. There is a way out. You said, but I'm scared to come out. She said, sound is okay. It was me that lost volume. Okay. Wow. You don't have to tolerate it. There is help. Don't ignore signs that the trigger has been released. Don't ignore signs. If you think you have triggered the narcissist, because a narcissist injury is dangerous. They can't handle a narcissist injury. And people telling you, oh, I will get back at them. No. Know the wisdom of the moment. You may need to just be quiet. You may need to observe the situation. You may need to not put any more anger, pressure into that atmosphere. Especially when you got children, you got to be super wise. Because whatever you go through, the children go through. Whatever hurts you, hurts them more. And the thing is, they cannot cognizantly think in a way that's going to protect them. They just feel with fear. And they get this fawn or flight or freeze. There was one child that said when their mom was being beaten, she would just lay on the floor and curl up in the fetal position, while the mother's being beaten, and I mean just cursed out. She would lay on the floor in the fetal position because she couldn't handle the pressure. Children, we're going to do a video on children and the narcissist. What happens when you're in the house? What happens when you're out of the house? What happens when you're away for a year, 2 years, 5 years? Because what you're going to find is not as easy as you think it is to get over the trauma. Because trauma goes through all your body. It goes through your bloodline. Trauma is a frequency, and it goes through every organ. Because when you look at trauma, what does it look like? It's a frequency. You can't hold it in your hand, but you can hold it in your heart. You can travel it through your body. You can travel it in your mind. And holding a grudge against a person, that don't hurt them. It hurts you. And it helps you to immediately forgive. She's a trigger warning. If the abuser chokes a person, and the odds double and triple for his chance that the abuser will unalive you. Wow. But if he's choking you, he's not choking you for you to be visible and seen. He's trying to make a statement. You got to be smart. When you know, go and don't come back. Don't allow no chances, no opportunities. You have to secure that they got their victory before you put your family through that again. Before you put your body through that again. Before you put your mind through that again. Once you know, you go. Because there's going to be another incident sooner than you think. Or sometimes when the narcissists know they're in trouble, they'll back down. They'll back out. They'll start love bombing. You will never get the gold and the platinum, but they'll love bomb you to the point of change, where you change your mind about leaving. You change your mind about seeing them. You want to see them. You cannot underestimate the narcissist, because they will do anything to take them off the hook. Anything to take them off the hook. And then when they know who you are, what difference does that make? When you know you have triggered a narcissist, from that point on, He gonna start expressing himself, or she gonna start expressing herself. Women are worse. Women narcissists are worse because they're more detailed, they're more accurate. Men may miss clues, but when they get it, they got it. So think about it. Rather than to trigger your narcissist, use wisdom. If your narcissist has proven to be dangerous, do not try them. If the narcissist seems like he don't want to leave and they trying to make him leave, don't fight with him. Don't fight with your narcissist. And when they go to jail, you got to remember, that's not rehabilitation. That's a holding cell. And they're going to hold them with the mind they had. They're going to hold them with the same thoughts. They're going to hold them with that situation that they put in jail, whether they're innocent or guilty. It's going to go through their mind over and over and over again. And you don't want them to take anything out on you that you did not do. Wow. Y'all, this is tremendous right here. Because if you, with a narcissist hate abandonment. Oh my God. They hate abandonment. They hate rejection. They hate refusal. Because when you refuse them, you're rejecting them. They can't handle that. Even though you are saying that I'm not rejecting you, I'm just putting up a wall, I'm just protecting myself. They don't see protection, they see rejection. And it's very dangerous. Very dangerous. Wow, Karen. So physical violence isn't a surety in the UK. Some places, but what I find in most states, they are really increasing the laws when it comes to violation, because women was dying like flies and there was no consideration. So they really consider changing the laws where it can benefit a female that is by herself. And if you notice anyone following you, anyone stalking you, and you can prove it, call the police. 911 immediately. All right? Let's see what else we got here. I wish many of you had the ability to speak. It would be nice to hear what you had to say. But many of you are dealing with this. She said when there are children, work with the DV advocate will help you do, what is that? I can't understand that word, and make arrangements and notify the police. The narc will put a photo armor on you. Claim you're unstable mentally and on drugs. You don't want your kids to get taken away, so you got to use wisdom. You got to use wisdom. The courts are very slow by taking children out of homes when there's a problem. So if he get violent and the kids are there and you cannot escape, you got to find a way to get them out. You got to find a way to get them out. And 9 times out of 10, they already know a way of escape. You want to protect your children at all costs. You want to protect your children at all costs. Wow, that is a thought and a half. So a two-party state, Karen, you said that a two-party state cannot secretly record. A one-party state can record. Man, Karen, that's really good. That's really good information. And for you that are in it, know that our hearts are with you, our prayers are with you. That is not an easy task, but you took the smart way. You're educating yourself, you're informing yourself, you're getting new ideas, and you're getting enlarged, how can I say, more information about this, where you can help yourself and help other people. But what thing you got to do, you got to know your narcissist. Know when they're triggered. Most narcissists are serial cheaters. And I mean not just regular cheating. They cheat. See? So you got to protect yourself. Inside and out. And if it's just a job, then the person who is betraying you, and then you got to be strong. Because you saying, I need this job. You got to use wisdom. Who you tell, if you tell anybody, but God. Sometimes God won't let you talk. He'll have you to tell him. And when you talk to him, he'll bring this special person in your life that go among the elite of where you work. And they tell and they start helping you out. Oh, I got some t-shirts. Me and my daughter, oh, I'm looking forward to Monday. She is going to be with me on Monday. Monday is going to be me and Bishop Kathy doing this program. It's going to be awesome. I'm telling you, it's going to be great. It's going to be good. It's going to be awesome. Wow. She said, when there are children, work with the DV advocate. Will help and do imagery. Make arrangements and notify the police. The narc will put Amber Alert. She said, the narcissist will put an Amber Alert on you. Claim you're unstable and mentally on drugs. Oh. She said, if you are in one of those party states, you will have proof of the verbal, emotional threats, rages, and destroy the things that they cannot fix up. Wow. When a narcissist is triggered, y'all, that is very, very, very abusive. Very abusive. Whether it's verbally or physically. Man, that was good right there. And those of you who said, you know what, our narcissist, I'm dating online. Yeah, but the one thing about dating online, one day he's going to want to see you. One day, the narcissist, if he leaves, he want to come back. If he discard, he want to come back. You go back to the supply that gave you the most. So when a narcissist is triggered, he hot as a firecracker. He not thinking about you, and he want to hurt you because you hurt him. And narcissists believe in vengeance. But if you feel like it is a safety factor, you can always exit. God will always send you someone to help you if you feel like you don't have a home to go back to. Wow. Trigger warning. There is no trigger warning for some of you. Once he lives, when a person lives away, it's easier when they're gone. And when they come back, because they will ghost you, be gone for a week and come back, and then you trigger them. You trigger them by saying, where have you been? They make up all this lousy excuse. And you know there was a discard. You know you've been ghosted, and you won't be gaslighted. But the narcissist can be very dangerous based on the class or the grade of narcissist. Don't take it for granted that you're safe and he's making threats. She said, if you're in a one-party state, you will have proof of that verbal, emotional abuse, threats, raging, destroying things. Stay calm and let the abuser convict themselves. You just make sure you're in a place of safety. If they're throwing things at you, if they're getting hit, you sleep, I'm gonna kill you. Or if you feel threatened by their presence, look, triggering an abuser and stand among them is not an easy task, especially a narcissist. When you have had enough, please go on my videos and pull the videos when the supply has had enough. You're going to love that video. Come on. Y'all, we need to come back together on next Wednesday. We will be back here on next Wednesday. Karen, thank you so much. Because Karen is 3 hours behind Washington. And here it is, what time? Almost, it is 10 after 11. So Karen, what time is it there? 7 something? Where you are? Eminem said, thank you. Eminem, I'm so glad God protected you because your story is so awesome. And people need you to tell your story. Don't stop talking. Always tell your story because somebody needs your story. They need to know that they can come out too. All right, y'all. This is my time. I love you to life. We'll be back here on next Wednesday. Y'all join us on next Monday. No, next Tuesday, 7:45 Pacific, 10:45 Eastern, 9:45 Central. Join us on Clubhouse. And then we're back here on next week. I try to get on by 8 and 8:30. So, because it's a weekday for our children so they can go to school. So, make sure you join me on Wednesday for the Bible study, and 15 minutes after, we're live on YouTube. I love you to life, and I'll see you next week. Thanks for coming, everybody. Bye-bye.